This is Future Sense Now, where we explore the landscape and byways of our shared futures. Future Sense Now is brought to you by the Futures Forum. Stay tuned for a journey to the future.
Greetings and salutations. We are continuing our conversation series in celebration of UN International Day for Women and Girls in Science. And I'm joined by a friend and a sister, Dr. Srimathy Kesan, and I'm saying friend and a sister because she's no stranger to me. Now, because of that, I don't even have a formal bio. But let me just say, she's the founder of Space Kids India, which is notable and noted around the world for its leadership in creating opportunities for young people, especially girls, to be active in the space community. They have launched balloons, they have launched satellites, and now she is driving the formation, if you will, and capacitation of thousands of girls around the world through a project called Mission ShakthiSAT, which in the interest of full disclosure, I have to say I serve as an advisor for. So this is sort of an in-house thing that we're doing here. So welcome again, and I'd like to begin with our first of our 5 questions is, what is the vision of Space Kids India long-term for accelerating and the participation and leadership of women and girls in science, engineering, and emerging fields in space and sustainability?
You said it all, Dr. Claire. I'm super excited to be here, and especially on this special day. Truly means a lot for having me here in your talk series. Thank you. And, well, the question that you asked, you know about it. The world is one family, is what we believe. And space is something which is borderless. So if we have to follow that, then we need to create more women leaders who are more empathetic, who are more sensitive towards all the issues around, and are very strong with all the subjects around them that will strengthen them to be the best. This is very, very important because for many years now, women are told that they are good with certain professions. And finance is something that we are not really accessed. At least here, we are not accessed to finances to a certain age, until a certain age. But if you do not deal with finances, then you don't get anywhere. So technology, finance, now, of course, AI, everything integrated, I think we need to get our girls there. And we need to create those women leaders who are just about 27%. We need more. We need more. So I think that's what is the vision of Space Kids India. Yes, being space as the core industry. Because all these while, women were told that they're good with fashion, films, food, but space was 2 steps behind, or many steps behind, because we just have about 14 to 19% of them globally working in the STEM industries, and leaders just about 2 to 3%. So what are we talking about? So this day, I don't want just a celebration. We need to move ahead. We need to walk the talk. So a drop in the ocean is Mission ShakthiSAT, where we are trying to bring 108 countries together, 12,000 girls, giving them access to space and designing, launching a satellite to the moon.
Well, that's where I jump in. Because this philosophy, what philosophy, if you will, is shaping your approach? What is your philosophy shaping your approach to empowering young women and building their confidence? You're talking about 12,000 girls, building their confidence, resilience, and leadership capacity. How does your philosophy shape your approach? And in a sense, what's next then, if you will, for what's in store for them in Mission ShakthiSAT?
Perfect. Great question. Well, as you know, that we have built an exclusive curriculum for them where they are accessing the platform and learning about the nuances of not only building a satellite, but the space ecosystem, the space law, space economy, everything, put together in that curriculum, which they are accessing. So here, the children, one child will be chosen from each country and brought to India as the second phase. And here from August 23rd until September 2nd, they will be here in India. They will be coming together as one family and building the satellite, one to low Earth orbit and one to the moon. So the low Earth orbit, we intend requesting our Honorable Prime Minister to be launching it on 11th of October, being the International Girl Child Day. So that's very, very important, where we send out the message very clear and strong to the world that girls do mean technology. Gone are those days where people always said that girls and technology, nana, physics and math are a nana, but today these girls are hungry. They want more. So I think that's where ShakthiSAT comes in, and we are able to feed these children with all this. And here it is not only physics and math and system engineering or anything to do with orbital mechanics, but it's beyond that. We're training them for leadership skills. We're training them for their psychological well-being and how they have to take the community, because only one child will be chosen among the hundreds of children from their country. So when it is that one child, then she's got a huge responsibility to not only empower herself, but she's going to take the entire country, the entire community of women in her country. So this is all about the next phase. It's going to be extremely challenging because we're going to be having a lot of speakers who will be talking to them, who will be molding them. And it is not just these 10 days. When they go back, it is going to be for life. It's going to be a transformation. So that's what I look at. And the other thing is the philosophy that you were mentioning. India, is a country filled with so many philosophies, and especially yoga. So I thought we start off because women's health is very, very important. So if she is going to have her temple clean, clear, then she can carry the country forward. So every little thing is beautifully concised. And when they come here, looking forward to give them everything in a capsule so that they get excited, they get responsible, and they know where they have to move next.
Yes. So in terms of the powerful vision and mission and action planned, but in your experience, what have been some of the biggest barriers for girls who want to pursue scientific careers today? And I guess you can talk a little bit more about what Space Kids is doing to remove the barriers that you can remove.
Well, that's a nice question, Dr. Claire. For the 75th Indian independence, we came up with the concept that, it was rather over a decade, I've been noticing that girls were not really getting into this industry. And it was always the boys in my team, and I was the only girl. Though you had given them opportunities, there were a lot of challenges. It was pressure from family, societal pressure, monetary challenges. You just can go on, So even they had physical challenges because they were not strong enough to sit there for 30 hours, 40 hours continuously, which means they were not focusing on their well-being. So every little thing mattered. Firstly, I would say the family challenges. So when we started building ShakthiSAT, we thought we were going to bring 750 rural girls of India from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, teach them all the nuances of building a spacecraft, and then bring everybody to Sriharikota, where they will integrate the satellite and launch the satellite. But as basic as attending a class was also challenging after their school hours, because this could not be integrated during the school hours. They were chosen from the schools, but they had to stay back to do that. So if they had to stay back to do that, you had somebody to come to pick them up. They were not letting them come home late. Family complained that it is very difficult for them and it is not safe. So there was a safety angle attached to it. So everywhere, little things piled up, and the child is so confused. Do I really take science? Because you had labs which were like kilometers, almost like they had to travel about 2.5 hours to access a lab.
Wow.
And from a tribal area, because we wanted to bring in the entire community, not leave anybody out. Even the tribals from the mountainous region, we wanted to bring them into the mission. They were excited when they heard about this. They felt like, are we even capable? Are we? They had so many doubts, self doubts, whether we will be able to do this, because we've always been told that math is difficult, physics is difficult. Will we be able to handle the sensors carefully? What are we going to do? What if something happens? What if it fails? All these doubts were sown because of societal pressures, family pressures. But the beauty was when finally we were, trying to untie all these knots, bring them all together, when they started interacting with children from other states, other cultures and languages. Within India, we have close to 800 languages. So it's a continent by itself. So, when they started interacting, they understood that everybody has a challenge. But if we are only going to be interacting about challenges, where are we going to move ahead? When are we going to move ahead? When is my community going to move ahead? When are we going to stop getting married at 15 and 16? Who is going to take all this forward? These were the questions these little kids had. Slowly, we had, good conversations built over all these things. And they were so joyous when they started building those little payloads that gave them confidence. When they started accessing the computers to write small codes, I mean, that was something out of the world for them, that they were writing codes.
Yes.
And the day they arrived at Sriharikota to watch the launch, Dr. Claire, I tell you, that's in my heart so deep, it's dug deep, because every child teared up. And every child has so many emotions that was brought down, saying my family, because these were children, literally, if I have to tell you, a bus driver's child, a maid's child, a farmer's child, from uh, that background. So they were never expected. The first time some children wore a pair of jeans, because we wanted them to do that. Wear a pair of jeans. They traveled first ever time in a aircraft. All this brought so much of emotion. And when our chairman met them and said, well done, girls, you've done good, everybody started crying. They said, we never thought there was some industry like this that could welcome us, that would embrace us, give us an opportunity like this.
Yes.
When they saw the rocket soaring high, my God, none of them wanted to go back home. They said, please, we want to be here. It is, what a place this is. But one thing, Dr. Claire, I have to tell you here, everybody felt, oh my God, I got this opportunity. Probably a friend of mine who's really thinking about aircraft should also understand that there is an industry called space and rocket and satellites. I think she has to be, ma'am, when will you give us another opportunity? That is girls. They don't just think about themselves. I always feel that if, a girl is educated, she will just rise and take the community forward. So I could see all these emotions in these little children, So that is where it is, beg, borrow, steal. We could
Yes.
do anything to make these kids happy. That is
Yes.
when I started thinking, if the impact is so high with
Mm-hmm.
these children, how would it be in the world? Is it
Yes.
like, when other countries, are they very comfortable? Do they have access? Slowly, when I started interacting, I know you were the first person that I spoken to about the mission ShakthiSAT, and I know you're the youngest child going to go to the moon. So when I spoken to you and my little friends, everybody felt the same. They said, no, if there are two children, one child, the male child goes to the university, the female child tries to start work at an early age to fulfill a commitment of the family. I
Yes.
mean, this,
That's
I don't
another
know.
barrier.
Yeah, how? Why? It was hurtful. And that's why Mission Shakti said, let's bring the power, let's bring the girls together, give
Yes.
them whatever is possible. But one thing I know for sure, we are giving them that hope. We're giving them that courage to dream big, and definitely you can make your dreams come true. You can realize your dreams, manifestation. Keep manifesting big, and I'm sure you will be there one day.
Yes. So it's good to talk about that in terms of what it took, number one, for the girls to come to get the space kids India off the ground, and now we're moving to a global space. But why is it so important that we have women and girls playing a role in space science and space technologies? I'm very especially concerned about supporting the peaceful use of outer space and, of course, sustainable development. Why is this important?
Well, when girls in the room, you do have empathy, you do have love, and as you know, very, very thin difference between a rocket and missile. So if we are going to have the inflated egos with black jackets filled around the table, I'm sure it's going to head to anti satellites, missiles, wars. So it goes back like, pre World Wars. And again, probably, I don't even want to mention that name, but we might end up with space wars.
No, we're not claiming that. We're not gonna end up with them. Yeah. I'm not even putting it on the table. The work that we're doing now as women in science, understanding that we're up against other forces, but when we multiply and empower and educate a mass of people to create a mind field that is prepared to carry humanity forward into a peaceable future, we will not, because if we have a space war, it will be the end of humanity, period. So we're not going to have.
We need more girls. That's why we need more girls in the industry. That is why I wanted to tell you, we need more girls, because we are women who bring out life to the world. So we are the people who can actually stop all this and, take rockets for humanitarian purposes. So we are going to do that.
Maybe it is that having women and girls in space science and space technologies, we are more hardwired for waiting. It's not that we're necessarily patient, because I wouldn't consider myself a patient person, but I think we're more hardwired to understand that things do not happen in 10-second moments. And even though we're moving to a society where things are happening very fast, because we have to carry a child for 9 months, and that's a long time, we're more it's more embedded in our DNA and in our psychological DNA to be patient, to wait. And so even if it is that women do pick fights, and yes, of course, we're not saying all women are peaceful. Some women also pick fights. I think there's enough of us out there that could support, let's say, taking the time to step back before we've hit that final blow, so to speak. And it's that time to step back might allow us to save ourselves. So let me run to the last question, right? What message would you share with young girls around the world? Because you are certainly already embedded with young girls. And what are the partnerships you are seeking to help make the mission, ShakthiSAT mission, possible?
Okay. The message that I would love to share with all the young ones would be, of course, dreaming big, but beyond that, the resilience that you had mentioned. Resilience is very, very important. Nothing just happens. But it does not matter where you come from, what you have today, but what is the legacy that you're going to leave for the future is very, very important. So please work towards bringing everybody together and becoming a true leader with patience, perseverance, and acknowledge all the talents around you and take the community forward. That is very, very important. Stay together, stay strong. Come what may be, wake up, dress up, show up. That's very, very important for a woman. And so I would say that. And yes, the partnerships that we are looking at, because we need a lot of fund for doing this, for completing this dream that is being woven around all these girls. So probably, software companies, anybody, feels that they would love to donate a dime, please come stand by us, because this is for the future. We need girls in this industry. We don't want to deplete more and more. So come together, let's do this. Let's leave a huge legacy, and let's create not only hope, but give that strength to every girl child that you can do it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Srimathy Kesan, President of Space Kids India, founding President of Space Kids India, and Mission Commander of Mission ShakthiSAT, the first all-girls build satellite project that will allow girls to, global one, that will allow us to launch a low Earth orbit satellite as well as a satellite to the moon. With that, folks, we look forward to enjoying the rest of Women and Girls in Science Day. For you in India, it's only about 3 hours left.
Yes.
But enjoy what's left of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Claire. Namaste.
Namaste. You have been listening to Future Sense Now, brought to you by the Futures Forum. For more, please visit www.thefuturesforum.org. Thank you for listening. Spread the word. Share the future.